In this video, I'll be breaking down 3 crucial keys you need for playing bebop jazz piano. I'll be going over how to build bebop lines from guide tones, how to use rhythmic techniques to create momentum, and how to add melodic colors and harmonic things that you almost never see being taught anywhere else for some reason. We'll be using Charlie Parker's classic tune Confirmation as our example, since it's loaded with classic bebop harmony and movement. Also, check out the guides in the description below for how to structure and organize your practice if you're feeling lost or overwhelmed. There's a guide on where to start if you're new to jazz piano or coming from a classical background, 5 ways to instantly improve your solos, and my modes cheat sheet. All right, let's get right into it. All right, we're going to start with guide tone practice, just using thirds and then sevenths and then combining them. And until I figured this out, this tune was just such a mystery to me. And once you see the logic behind this, everything becomes so much more clear and makes sense. So I'm going to just start with thirds and sevenths and then combine them. So here's just the guide tone line. So notice the stepwise movement. So that was starting on the third. I could start on the 7 as well. Right, so you can start to combine these as well. And this is great because it outlines the changes in the shells and harmony of the changes. So when you combine them, you can play them rhythmically, not just holding the notes, but treat them like a melody, like so. Opposite order or whatever you want, but you're basically making motifs using the shells. It's restrictive, but you want to know that first. So once that's fluid, you can add some chromatic approach tones and enclosures to each guide tone, a half step above or below. You can be pretty simple with this to start. Practice that and all the variations and things you can do with that. And just remember, you're not just outlining chords, you're creating a melodic contour that defines the harmony and gives you that fluid sounding bebop voice leading. The key here is adding swing and intentional rhythm. And if you can make your thirds and sevenths swing, everything else is just decoration. Really work on approaching your guide tones with some chromatic enclosures or approach notes. Just work on that in all the possible ways you can think of. The second key is rhythmic variations and embellishments. Bebop lines are built on eighth notes, of course, but if you just play eighth notes, that's going to get a little boring and stagnant after a while. And what can really make your soloing stand out is switching up your note values like eighth note triplets and some 16th note triplets for flair. And using displacement, like starting your lines on the and of beat 1 or the and of beat 2 or even the and of beat 3 or 4. So for example, if you're just playing, that's eighth notes, but if you go, you have that triplet. Right, some triplets really help. And 16th note triplets are great too, to give some added flair. For example, So eighth note triplets work well especially descending 7th chord shapes that move chromatically work well for this tune. Check out how logical this is. I'll start at the A minor. So you can use these chords as arpeggios for your lines. Occasional 16th note triplets for flurries give a nice thing to your lines that can intrigue the ear and give your lines more flair and ornamentation. Here's an example from Bud Powell on his solo from Bouncing with Bud. So this is over the D7 to G minor in Bouncing with Bud. So what's he doing there? But instead of just stopping there on the third, he's going. Right, there's a little triplet in there. The last area I want to talk about is some harmonic things that nobody seems to really be talking about. And I see so many people just ignore this for some reason. So if you play bebop, bebop uses the 6th a lot, whether it's for a major chord or dominance or minor chords. The 6th on major and dominant chords is especially effective, and it kind of gives that bluesy inflection. And especially on dominance, like in Bud Powell's solo, he goes on the G7, there's the 6, right? So the 6th is very powerful and is the sound of that era. And if you play bebop, you want to use it more, even on minor chords. Even on an F major. Right, the 6 is what you want to use. Another thing you can use is when you're on dominant chords, you can use the flat 5 or sharp 11 for tension and color. And over the G7 on confirmation, that's a perfect place to use it. You can use the C sharp in your line to add a little more tension. So instead of just, you can use. That C sharp. Right, you can use that a lot. Right, you can use it on every chord if you want. And then here. So especially on any sort of secondary dominant chord or just dominance in general, it's nice to have. Right, it's nice to have that flat 5, sharp 11 sound. All of these ideas take your lines from being correct to being melodic and musical. It's the difference between playing changes and playing musical phrases over them. Leave a comment below and tell me any breakthroughs you had. That's all for now, but these techniques are just scratching the surface. You'll find much more step-by-step guidance, examples, and exercises, and everything you need to take your jazz soloing skills to the next level in my course, The Complete Jazz Improv System. Link is in the description. And if you're serious and looking for high-level mentorship, check out the link in the description as well, fill out the short form, and book a call with me to talk about your goals and what's holding you back. In the next video, we'll look at 3 bebop hacks for developing speed and fluency at the keyboard. Link is right here on the screen. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.